love what I do. It is, at times being a therapist can be very stressful because you can't help but put all of your life and energy into a session and live with the person through what they're going through, and it can be very difficult and challenging and trying, but the gains and the benefits of it and the successes that you get to be a part of make everything so worthwhile.
I am going underground, don't call me on the phone.
It's wonderful to come home and feel like you did something today. You made somebody's life better, or at least help them take a step on their journey, wherever that may be.
I don't want to be your fool. Just tell me we'll go down.
My name is Toby Blanc. I'm a therapist, a licensed professional counselor more specifically. I'm from Louisiana. Was born and raised in Cajun country. I became a therapist after seeing friends of mine, starting in high school and then through college, really struggle with drugs, alcohol, and addiction, more specifically. I really hated them, watching them lose their lives and not being able to feel like I could do anything about it. I mean, except lend an ear and give advice, and it was never really that good of advice because I didn't know anything about it. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make a difference, and I became a therapist so that, I became a therapist to try and make a bit of a difference in people's lives who are struggling with addictions, along with everything else that comes along with addictions, because that's not all there is. There are tons of different things that are comorbid with addiction. Trauma being a very big one, very serious one, because trauma and addiction cycle into each other. If somebody experiences a trauma, the person needs to heal, the person needs to feel safe, the person needs to, person wants to feel comforted, and alcohol, drugs are easy ways to do that. So trauma will lead to alcohol and drugs, but an alcohol and drug culture is not something that's very safe and can often put the person in more danger, which then can create more trauma, which increases drug use. So not working on the trauma it's really only half of the puzzle. And unfortunately, if somebody's been traumatized, they tend to seek out the same traumatic experiences, relationships, because of the way that our brain works. It's actually looking to recapitulate whatever it was that was traumatic, so that hopefully this time it'll be different, or hopefully it'll make sense to them this time, or something like that. And if you don't change that thinking, that cycle, those emotional underpinnings that are happening, the addiction is just going to happen again.
I don't want to be your fool.
Treatment centers are great because they get the person usually detoxed, or hopefully detoxed, usually gives them some coping skills, some support, but then going home, person loses all of that and loses all of it and almost immediately, because you leave the treatment center, you go home, it's there. You're right back to where you started, and it's really difficult to move in a direction that's healthy without continued support. That's a huge factor in recovery, is the amount of support that you receive, either from your family, your friends, people in AA, NA, any kind of group therapy. Social support is a huge factor in recovery. So that's definitely needed. Sober living provides that. I definitely think that sober living is incredibly important after leaving a treatment center. It's really difficult to go from a 24/7 model of care back to your normal life and not just feel like somebody dumped a bucket of ice cold water on you. So I think sober living is really important to help transition a person to a life that's more fulfilling, to find some structure in their life to keep on moving toward their goals.
I am made of flesh and bone, I am incomplete. I found a precious stone lying